Fellas, would you believe me if I said Borderlands 4 is literally releasing to us next week? Now listen, I'm gonna start this by saying that I am actually a noob in Borderlands. The first Borderlands I really sunk my teeth into was Borderlands 3, and I enjoyed it, but it didn't keep me. And so something that I've really been wanting to pay attention to is what does the in-game look like for Borderlands 4? And today, guys, we're gonna be breaking down what Randy Pitchford and the crew at Gearbox finally revealed to us. Now, just in case you are very new to the Borderlands franchise, maybe you're just a Destiny only player, the in-game loop of this series is much like the in-game loop of any other looter. Essentially, once you beat the campaign, a new mode or higher difficulty will unlock where you'll face tougher enemies and challenges, but you'll get better gear and rarer loot. And just like every other looter, you then use that more powerful gear to climb the mountain of ever-escalating difficulty, getting stronger and stronger as you go, and always refining your build to perfection. Now, typically, Borderlands in-game offers new loot that's only obtainable in the in-game, as well as brand new systems to power up your Vault Hunter and brand new activities to play that aren't available in the base campaign. Now, all of this is true for Borderlands 4, starting with Ultimate Vault Hunter. Once you finish the campaign with your first character, which Gearbox mentioned should happen around level 30 to 35, you'll unlock Ultimate Vault Hunter mode. Now, this mode intensifies the risk and reward of every firefight. There's increased damage scaling, enemies scale to your level, and enemies will also have modifiers that give them more damage, as well as more health, elemental resistances, and more. Now, you also have appropriately scaled up XP gains, as well as cash, iridium, all of which is very important for build tinkering and accessing different in-game systems. Now, Ultimate Vault Hunter mode will have 5 difficulty levels at launch, implying that more will come at a later date. And once you beat the campaign, you can't just jump to the difficulty level 5. You'll have to unlock each difficulty incrementally by completing challenges spread across Kairos. Challenges that will put your build to the test to see if we're ready for the upcoming increase in difficulty. Now, once you've done enough and proven that your build is up to the challenge, you'll then unlock access to a special wildcard mission. Now, these missions are ones you've done before, but they're incredibly buffed up with much stronger enemies that have new lethal traits. Now, successfully completing these wildcard missions will unlock the next Ultimate Vault Hunter level. Then you just repeat that loop, completing challenges across Kairos to prove your build as what it takes, get crazy new and powerful loot, grow stronger, unlock and complete the wildcard mission, then increase your difficulty up to level 5. Now, the difference this time around versus the in-game modes of the previous games is that you no longer need to refarm your gear every time you go up a difficulty level. A weapon that you find in tier 1 is going to be doing the same amount of damage as if you found it in tier 5. Now, Gearbox says that they want to respect the player's time and not force you to reform your gear every single time you increase the game's difficulty. Now, it's worth noting that progressing your Ultimate Vault Hunter mode difficulty is something you could do at your own pace as well. If you don't feel comfortable going up a tier of difficulty, you could do more activities or even farm more bosses until you feel ready to proceed higher. Now, on the topic of boss farming, this is something that has been in every Borderlands game to date, thanks to every boss having dedicated loot drops. Oh yeah, mitigating that RNG, baby. Meaning, if there is a specific gun or item that you're looking for, there's a high chance you can farm a specific boss to have a better chance at getting that item to drop. Now, Gearbox points out that farming bosses in Borderlands 4 has been improved to offer greater variety, as well as more predictable goals. Now, from the recent in-game article on Borderlands website, it was stated, quote, instead of fighting the same bosses over and over again in the same part of the map, you're now incentivized to take the fight across Kairos and fight a wide variety of enemies in the pursuit of the specific loot that you're looking for. Now, while we don't exactly know what this means, I will say as someone who just been in the mines now for like the past 2 months, I like variety, man. Mindlessly fighting the same encounter or same boss over and over again turns my brain to mush. So it's a breath of fresh air to see that when it comes to farming inside of Borderlands 4, our experience should be varied. Now, Gearbox also revealed contracts, an in-game system that tasks you with hunting down and defeating certain bosses, with completion rewards containing the valuable in-game currency Iridium. Now, Iridium in Borderlands 4 is used to respect the specialization tree, a completely new in-game skill tree, which we're going to talk about in just a second, and for using Moxie's big encore machine, which allows you to replay a mission or respawn a boss instantly without needing to exit and re-enter the game, allowing for super quick and easy farming. Now, moving on, we need to talk about these weekly challenges. To keep you coming back for more each week, Gearbox will be introducing weekly incentives for fresh challenges and new rewards. There's going to be a weekly big encore boss where everyone can take on the same boss each week, which is a tougher new variant with new movesets and even a more rewarding loot pool. Then there's also a weekly wildcard mission. Now, what I really like about these missions is that they have have a dedicated legendary drop that you can repeatedly earn so you can get the exact role that you want. Think of these as like OG Grandmaster Nightfalls, where we would farm Pally because it was the weekly drop. And lastly, for the weekly reasons to return, the Black Market Machine. This machine is in a different location every week, and it offers super valuable legendary loot for in-game cash. And everyone's machine will offer different items each week. So get this, you can actually hit up your friends and see what their Black Market Machine is offering. And it may actually have a drop that you're looking for. What I really like about this is almost like your own personal Xur, offering customized loot just for you. Now lastly, we've got to talk about in-game loot and in-game customization. There's multiple systems that come into play when you hit the in-game in Borderlands 4, one of which being firmware. Now we've seen small hints of this in gameplay over the past couple months, but Gearbox has been very tight-lipped on it, only stating that it's mainly an in-game mechanic. Well, now we have a lot more information. Firmware is essentially gear sets, which is something that's never been in a Borderlands game. Firmware is something that can randomly roll on all of your non-weapon gear, rep kits, ordnance, class mods, shields, enhancements, meaning in total, you can have 5 firmware equipped at once. Now, the bonuses have a wide range of effects that all grow in power across 3 tiers. Minor tier only requires 1 piece of firmware equipped, major requires 2 of the same firmware, and full requires 3 of the same firmware. Now, from the in-game reveal article, Gearbox states that minor and major bonuses provided by firmware are typically flat increases to stats like ordnance damage or action skill cooldown rates, but full bonuses can provide unique effects like dropping down missile strikes or even boosting your damage and lifesteal when your health gets low. Now, because firmware maxes out at 3 tiers, you've got lots of options. You can rock a 3-piece full set and 2 of another, or maybe 5 different ones to benefit from 5 different stat buffs all at once. Now, firmware also isn't specifically tied to in-game, as you'll start seeing them appear around level 25, but you won't access the firmware transfer machine until you hit the in-game. Now, this machine transfers firmware from one piece of gear to another, destroying the initial piece that you transferred from. Now, this process can be very expensive and a serious investment, but as someone who loves build crafting, for me, I think it's going to be worth it just so that I can round out and perfect my build. Now, Gearbox has also confirmed that there are firmware sets that only drop in Ultimate Vault Hunter mode, so even more new loot to find and chase well into the in-game. Now, another new system introduced in the in-game is specializations. Quote, a brand new streamlined way to steadily and continuously increase the power of your characters account-wide. Essentially, guys, once we've completed the campaign, we'll unlock the specialization XP bar that you can level up hundreds and hundreds of times. They'll provide small buffs, similar to how the badass ranks worked in Borderlands 2 or the Guardian ranks in Borderlands 3. Now, the difference this time, however, is that once you've leveled up a basic node far enough, basic nodes, for example, offer more health or gun damage, you'll then unlock passive specialization skills to slot into socket spaces. Now, these are much more powerful buffs that will provide noticeable spikes in power. And although at the start, you only have access to 1 socket, over time, after many levels, you can unlock 4 in total. And remember, this specialization tree is account-wide, so it will buff up your new characters as well. And this is something that only requires you to beat the campaign to unlock. You don't have to hit max level first. That being said, you can respect the entire tree if you want to disable the power boost when playing a new character, so that you get more of a challenge starting out. Now, speaking of new characters, a small quality of life thing that they announce is that once you complete the campaign on 1 character, you'll be able to start a new character at level 30 with Ultimate Vault Hunter mode unlocked, so you can jump right in with the new Vault Hunter at the end game. Now, to me, this is fantastic. Now, you will have to uncover your map again and do all the points of interest, but you'll be able to skip past the campaign if that's something you have no interest in playing through again, which is a super nice addition that I'm sure many people have been asking for. And for my Destiny players, no, you don't have to pay to skip the campaign. This is free. Well, guys, that's everything in-game related that was revealed for the launch of Borderlands 4. Now, I will say there has been a lot of talk online, folks disappointed that most of the in-game activities are just rehashed missions with buffed up enemies or the same bosses just with more health and new movesets, and there's nothing actually new that you'll be playing in the in-game, which is a bit concerning, considering our background has been looters for pretty much forever now. Not having in-game immediately, or at least immediately with new content, is always a concern. First impressions are huge for any game, and I know Gearbox has a lot of content ready to roll out after the launch of Borderlands 4. What I'm really hoping is that they move things up on the timetable. Now, they did have her mention during the reveal stream that this isn't everything coming with the in-game at launch, and that they wanted to leave some surprises for the players. So I'm still holding out hope here, guys. Again, I'm still going to enjoy Borderlands 4 for what what it is. But no lie, fellas, I want it to be a game that dominates my time. And if we got a spicy end game that really pulls us in, who knows? There may be some hope that we'll see a surprise takedown make its way into the game, which is basically Borderlands' version of a raid. Tiny Tina's Wonderlands had a secret raid boss. So there's definitely a possibility that Gearbox is hiding something like that here too, which is what I'm hoping for. Now, there will eventually be invincible bosses, more ultimate Vault Hunter tiers, and even the per lesson loot rarity, which will be added to the game post-launch. Curious to know though, your thoughts, guys. How do you feel about the in-game reveal so far? Is it enough for you? Do you think Gearbox is just playing things close to the chest? Would love to hear your thoughts, guys. Whatever the case, fellas, we are going to be playing Borderlands 4 next week. We'll be hitting it as soon as it launches. If you're interested in seeing live gameplay of it, we'll be live over at our Twitch at twitch.tv/Aztecross, and we would love to have you. Fellas and ladies, thank you all for coming and watching, and as always,
Slap that like button like your mama told you right.